What up geeks, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm having a look at Tainted Grail, which is from Awaken Realms, and it's kind of like a grimdark take on Arthurian legend. It's based on a really popular board game, which was called Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, and it's like one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns ever, so it's quite a big deal. This is a pre-alpha version, I think, so I'm going to jump in and just sort of show you maybe the first 20 minutes of it, give you a bit of background, probably waffle a bit, as I tend to do, and really just sort of, also I'm sort of testing this whole setup at the moment, so if it's crap, let me know, which I'm sure you will, no filter. So here we go, going to jump in and have a look at Tainted Grail. I have jumped in, I'll show you in a minute, and played a little bit with the female character, Ailey. In the alpha version, there's no difference. Like they have the same health, they do the same damage, they have the same attacks. So yeah, it's kind of like I said, it's grimdark take on Arthurian legend. In this version, Yvain led the heroes of this country, this area, Connacht, to Camelot to seek help from King Arthur. It didn't go so well. Apparently, all the Knights of the Round Table are dead. King Arthur's dead or lost, and so there are no heroes left. And it falls to your characters, Baldur and Ailey. So Baldur is a local smith, known for a short temper and incredible strength. He does his best to conceal a festering, unhealable wound in his side that he received under mysterious circumstances. And Ailey is an outcast whose entire family perished in the weirdness. She makes a modest living, supplying healing herbs and roots to the locals. Like I said, in this alpha version, there's not much difference between the two, except Ailey's midriff is much better. I'm sure Bjor's got a lovely midriff as well, but we're going to go with Bjor this time. Like I said, there's no difference apart from the story in this demo version. Now, I played Ailey a little bit. It was quite fun, but she's a bit more diplomatic. She's a bit more focused on magic and not killing people, whereas Bjor is, like it says, he's a short-tempered smith. So we're going to go with Bjor, and I'll ramble you through it as we go.
You've been sitting in this dark hall for the better part of the day. The bitterness of your ale, a good match for the bitterness of your thoughts. They found you insufficient. They left you behind like a broken tool.
The wound in your side suddenly throbs and you punch it in response. Pain and rage overwhelm you for a moment. So basically, Baldur wanted to go to Camelot with Yvain and the other heroes, but he wasn't able to. Probably because of this wound, I don't know that yet, but that's what's pissed him off, is that he feels neglected and rejected by the knights who set off to save the world, and they failed, and he kind of feels like maybe if he'd gone, he could have done something to change that. Time passes, your wound throbs again as if something was trying to rip free and join the rolling clouds of weirdness outside. Sitting here any longer would be torture. But you can still choose to finish your drink or leave. I'm going to finish my drink because fuck it. So here's Bjor, and if you open the inventory, you'll see that at the moment in the alpha, if you take this stuff off, nothing changes. I don't know if that's going to change in the full game. I guess you will, because otherwise why would it show you a picture of them? I know you do get other weapons and that doesn't change either, so I'm guessing that later on it does. And you can recruit the other person, because when I played as Ailey, I recruited Bjor later on and he came with me. So here's the Connacht Menhir. So the Menhir can be sated with animal blood just as easily as with a human offering. Unfortunately, livestock is scarce and very expensive. You will need to hunt down some wild creature and drag it back to this place. So I can spill my own blood, but that'll take half of it away, and it's hard to restore health in this game. Like, you can eat stuff or you can rest it in, which costs a lot of money, and it's just, I'm not going to bother. So we're going to look for a sacrifice because I saw a mangy dog, and there is. We're going to go and beat this dog to death and steal its body parts and give them to the statue. In the alpha, it just gives you these cards. You don't have much of a choice, but you're up against it. Here's Bjorf versus these three crazed dogs, and here's just a quick taste of how it works. So you've got red cards and blue cards. Every time you use a red card, which is predominantly an attack, you build up the red, this here. You get points going to brawler. Every time you use blue, you get points going to fighter. Now, When they hit 10, you can activate like an ultimate, which do greater damage and give you buffs. The blue cards predominantly give you buffs, but they do attacks as well. And they have various little, like this one, for example. This will do 6 to 9 damage, and it will place bleeding for 3 turns on the enemy. Now, if your next card is also red, you'll generate 3 red points. You can stun the enemy, you can remove all negative statuses from you can do damage, and then if the next card so if I was to choose that one and then say do the stun, where is it? No, if I was to do that one, say, and then do this card which boosts my armor, not only would that boost my armor, but would also heal me for 10% as per the momentum bonus on that card. So it's quite intricate, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different cards for the different characters. But I'm going to just go with brute force and ignorance to begin with, and 6 to 9 damage, and I'm going to hit the one. Now these here, these little symbols, so that one means he's going to attack me. This symbol means he's going to apply a buff to himself, and this means he's going to apply a debuff to me. So you've got to read these and work out which one's going to be better. Now there are enemies later that just constantly heal themselves and their little group, and they're the ones you want to target first, but it will tell you there what the enemy intends to do. I don't know again if that's something in the alpha or if that's something it's always going to do, but you're not going to know unless you, I don't know, raise a certain attribute or something. So your attributes down here, you got health, sanity and resolve. Your health is obviously your health. Your sanity goes down if you spend too much time in the weird, but the enemies can affect it as well. And then you've got resolve, which is kind of like your ability to weather the attacks of certain enemies. And then of course up here you can run away and you can use your items. So I'm going to hit them with this one here, which is 6 to 9 damage. I'm just going to do, this guy intends to apply buffs, this guy intends to debuff me, and this one's going to attack. So I'm going to take the damage and try and take this. I'm going to do damage to this guy. It doesn't really matter at this point, to be perfect. I'm trying to sound all tactical, but the truth is it's 3 crazed dogs. It's the first fight of the game. It's going to be that challenging. And then we're going to stun the one who's going to apply the debuff to me. And then we end turn. See, that's his. Now he's added 25% evasion to himself. That's the buff that he applied to himself. So we've got one here which is 10 to 17. Next card has a plus 15% critical chance. So we'll use this first on him again, and then we'll use this card on him. And we didn't get the critical. We did apply bleeding. It's quite good. I'm enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to the full game, to be honest. Yeah, like with most deck builders, you've got an energy cost, which is here. So I've got 3. I can use 3 energy points, and yeah, there's the cost there for each card. Obviously, the more damaging or the more powerful the card, the more energy it uses. So I'm going to do this one on him. If the next card is not red, you get to draw another card. So if I use this on him, it should give me, there it is, another card. Like I said, a lot of this is placeholder, I guess. I don't know if the art's going to be placeholder, if that's going to change. I don't know if this is the art from the board game. This is like the level of my research. I honestly don't know the board game. We're going to win this, even though we have taken quite a few hits, actually. I haven't been paying much attention. 52 to 87. I don't need that. It's a bit overkill, isn't it? It's only got 6 health left. I'll just use that one. There you go. So we won. Woo! And then we get some... Now, you get 3 XP, and then this food will restore some health. But it restores a tiny amount of health. It's pathetic. The best way is you have to buy potions, which cost a lot of money, or you have to sleep. I got a feeling it's going to be one of those games, upon release, that is quite difficult. That it's going to... I can imagine it being one of those that gets complaints about being just too hard. So everybody stood around to watch you cheer, to watch you give your offering to the Menhir, and now they've all buggered off to the pub or the mead hall for a pint. But as you contemplate joining them, you notice a smaller group of villagers moving towards the abandoned house at the edge of the farmhold. And if you play as Ailey, this is the woman who helped raise her. So you've got more of a personal stake in that. But obviously, Bjorn was just going to stick his nose in. You catch some words about the wealth they're hoping to find in homes that belong to champions of Yvain's expedition, because that's where she went, the auntie. It might be good to see what's happening over there, especially since the knight who rules Kuanak doesn't seem to be around to stop the looting. So there's the mead hall. This is Forge Master Effier's home. I was wrong. So if you play as Ailey, you have to go to Nianti's home. If you play as Bjor, you go to Forge Master Erfir's home instead. Now, Forge Master Erfir was chosen to go with Yvain, but Bjor wasn't because he was, the apprentice. So the people gathered in front of Erfir's house argue loudly. Some of them are trying to stop the others from breaking the door down. It seems like the crowd wants to loot the house before the weirdness once again cuts it off from the rest of the town. As much as you hate the idea of robbing your friend and mentor, you can't deny that Erfir is most likely dead. And even if he isn't, with the weirdness clouding roads and trails, he'll be hard-pressed to ever return. To stop this madness, the man you're trying to rob was just a smith. What will you do with his tools? Scratch your backs? Or you can say, step aside, I'll let you in. The smith is gone. We can't let any of his belongings go to waste. Step back or you'll be sorry, someone said to him. He's a pretty big guy with a scary beard. I wouldn't argue with him. Step back. Scum like you have no right to claim the property of someone who fights to save Kuanacht. Here we go. You can have a little ruck with a bunch of peasants. Right, motherfuckers. I'm just going to keep pounding on this guy in the middle. That's quite heavy, 16 to 27 damage. No momentum though, so that's the trade-off as well. If you play a card with a really high damage or a really good buff, quite often there'll be no momentum. Oh, we've got the... there you go. Brawler. Cost all red cards is 0 this turn. Their damage is increased to 100%. Handy. Oh, not next turn, so I wasted that. You have to use it at the beginning of the turn. I didn't know that. Oh, look how little that goes up. Look, I'm nearly dead. I didn't realise. He's probably going to kill me. I think he is. Unless I evade somehow. It's the bleeding that's kicking my ass. That healed me a bit. Oh, I died. So I've just I just redid all that bit, but I went the easy way. So I spilled my own blood and I skipped a few fights and I opened the door and I went in. Now when you get into the Forge Master's home, you get this letter from Erfir. In this short note, your master explains the reason why Yvain did not take you on his quest. Young Lord of Kuanacht believed you were too reckless and he saw your wound as a liability, but Erfir never doubted you. He believes that should Yvain's expedition fail, you are the second best chance Kuanacht has. As you finish the letter, you notice some people were reading it over your shoulder. You've seen this. Bjor's going to save us. Erfir himself appointed him. You try to take the letter back, but the man slips by you and disappears into the distance, heading for the mead hall. You let out a single resigned sigh. You should probably go to the elders. The moment you enter the mead hall, all eyes turn towards you. The man who took your letter is here, flushed and panting. Next to him, you see the maimed knight himself. Is that true? Did you know about this? Is what he asked you. Whatever the letter said is not important. In the end, Erfir never delivered it. He could have changed his mind. Or you can say, yes, I did. Or you can say, no, I didn't. I'm going to choose the top one. It is important. No one here knew you better than Erfir, and he believed you were capable of holding your own out there. He also believed you are dependable and trustworthy, and that's good enough for me. Guards, escort everyone but this man out. Guards take their post on either side of the door and make sure no one is eavesdropping by the outside wall. You are now alone with the knight. Try not to look at the bandages covering half of his face, or to think about unsettling stories you've heard about him. What do you want me to do? Are you who you claim to be? Are you really from Camelot? Or I don't know, some people of the time believe you sent Yvain on some fool's errand just to rule in his stead. I'm not going to antagonise him. What do you want me to do? The clouds of weirdness are still just outside the town. It's impossible to travel. The knight reaches for his satchel at his side and hands you a couple of candles made from strange dark wax. You shudder. You never thought you'd get to use one of these foul things. Weird candles. Make every one of them count. Some more may still be around Kuanacht, but they get scarcer by the day. Lots of spelling errors and little things in there, but I guess they'll catch those before it's released. And do not make a mistake of thinking that their light turns you invulnerable. If you keep peering too long into the weirdness, it is bound to look back. His hand touches the bandage on the side of his face. If you don't go out there, no one will. In weeks, the town will be swallowed whole. Don't wait until the weirdness is at your very doorstep. Leave. So this is it. Now you're out in the world. So level up. So here we go. This is good, actually. I'm glad we carried on. So click to see new skills. So you get to choose a new skill. So you can pick a new card. So as you level up, you can take cards. See, this is a picture. I think this here is there's Bjor and there's Ailey. So I think you can. I think you're supposed to join up, and there may only be 2 characters. I don't know yet. And there you go. You've got skill points. So here you've got attack. It doesn't say what they do. Oh, there you go. So unending stamina. Adaptation. On each hit received in combat, you get +1 armor. Each blue charge is +3% resistance, and quick metabolism does not work in alpha. Now you quick slot down here, so I'm going to put the healing item I've got on there. That restores resolve and sanity. Whiskey or mead. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm just going to go out into the wilderness. That's the Reeve Witch of Kuanacht. I don't want to go there yet. Or resource pile is there. So I've got some resources. Now you have up here, look, you've got town management. It's not available in the demo. I don't know the details of that, but I know that this here, the Lone Brock, the ruined Lone Brock, you can fix that. I'm not going to try because I haven't got the resources to do it, but I know you can fix it. Weird Boar. I don't want to fight that. Ugh! Oh, bugger. What the hell? Grubwood Fleshly. 240! I'm probably going to die. Oh, yes. And it heals itself. Wonderful. Well, let's try and stun it for 1 turn. Good, we stunned it. And then we did a little bit of damage. What's this? Well, we're holding our own. I need to heal, though. Have I got one that... I need one that removes all negative statuses, don't I? I haven't got a blue card. I mean, it's only a leech. Right? Defeat. Killed me with 1 hit. So there you go. That was Tainted Grail from Awaken Realms. It's really cool. It's really interesting. I haven't got very far in the demo. I don't know how far the demo goes. I always die sometimes shortly after that. So at the moment it's very hard. But then they've still got to add lots of stuff to it. They've still got to add loads of balancing. They've still got to make both the characters. Right now the characters are both the same, but they're going to be very different. I don't know if there's going to be more characters. I don't know if there's going to be gear and loot and items that you can equip to make you better. I guess there will be, because there's an inventory screen and there's, you know, clothing and weapons to wear and things like that. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to change quite a lot between now and launch. But that's there you go. That's the preview of Tainted Grail. Now, if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, give us a thumbs down, and then I know that it's not good enough and I've got to do better next time. Let us know if you're interested. Let us know if that looked like something that you would play or something that you would be, you know, even bother checking out. In the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.